Hello friends, welcome to Testingshala YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to explain you what is all about Scrum framework project management, and also I am going to talk about what are its advantages and what are its disadvantages. So before moving further to get to know in detail about what is all about Scrum management and its advantages and benefits, if you guys are not subscribed to Testing Shala YouTube channel, then click on subscribe and bell icon so that all our future videos will be in your inbox as in when we publish our new videos. So let us understand what is all about Scrum framework project management. The Scrum framework project management is nothing but, so here the product owner would create a product backlog. You will create all the product backlog. We also call it as a wish list, which is required for a company or a product manager or a product owner, what they wanted to implement. The Scrum team will perform a sprint meeting and they will analyze each product backlog, and they will try to break down in such a way that it can be implementable in a proper manner, because they should understand what is all about each product backlog, and they will identify each product backlog and they will try to understand and they try to drill down further until they get a smaller level or a smaller chunk that can be implementable, and that can also be estimatable, and that is also can be measurable. So in such a way that they will break down, then they will keep it as a sprint backlog. So for sprint backlog, so the sprint backlog will come to a sprint cycle, right? In every sprint cycle, what is the duration? Scrum team will be deciding what is the time frame or what is the sprint time to implement the group of sprint backlogs. And once that is done, when the complete timeline has been decided, then there would be a Scrum meeting will happen, which is a daily stand-up meeting, which happens every day to understand the what is the progress of the sprint backlogs. In that meeting, they would be asking three things: what happened yesterday, what is the plan for today, any impediments. So these are the things would be discussed in that meeting. Now, normally the entire Scrum team would be managed by a Scrum Master, who is a certified person who can take care of entire Scrum activities. In Scrum management, there won't be any project management or a test management or nothing like that, right? Entire process, entire planning, entire execution, entire deliverables is being owned by a Scrum Master. He would be a person who would be completely managing the entire show of a given sprint. So now you are able to understand, or you are able to visualize what is all about Scrum framework project management. So now let us understand what are its advantages and what are its disadvantages. So Scrum's best advantage is because we are able to drill down, we are able to visualize, we are able to understand the requirements well before we are starting sprints itself. So in that way we are very clear, and when we are very clear, we are able to deliver quickly as well and very efficiently. Because we are able to deliver quickly and efficiently, because of that we are going to save time as well as the money which is required to implement it. Large projects, here we can break down the large product backlog, can be break down into sprint backlogs in such a way that it is very easy to manage, and also it is very easy to deliver at the end of the sprint, which could be 2-week sprint or a 3-week sprint or a 4-week sprints. At least some working product would be implemented. At least some deliverables would be demonstrated to the stakeholders that ensure that we are going in a right track. And when we are showing a demonstration, and also we would be getting a feedback, and that is also going to back to the sprint backlog, or if it is used, then it goes back to the product backlog, right? So that they can implement and they can demonstrate whatever they're implementing, which is the right one, and even client will get in a feedback, or client will also get in a visualized picture what is really happening in the Scrum team, whether they're really on the track or they are really making a good progress. Everything can be easily seen using Scrum framework, because we have a Gantt chart will be there, we'll have a burn down chart will be there. In that we can easily identify whether the project team is really making a good progress or the project team really requires any help. And every day we have a Scrum meetings in the Scrum teams, which is a daily stand-up meeting that helps to figure out what is really a burning things is really happening in a team on day-to-day basis. That is the biggest thing or the biggest advantages in Scrum framework project management. So now let us understand what are the disadvantages of Scrum. So what are the disadvantages? So we are all talked about the advantages of Scrum team members. Now let us understand what are the disadvantages of Scrum framework. So basically in Scrum, what happens as and when the client gets more clarity, you would be adding more features into the product line. When he adds more backlog to the product backlog, then you won't be having any clarity when this project is really going to end. Right? We won't be having any clarity because we would be keep adding things to the backlog or sprint backlog. There is no clarity whether it can be done in 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, the entire project. And so Scrum teams is made up of very strong individuals, right? It is Scrum team is made up of very strong individuals, including Scrum Master, we have a product owner, we have developers, we have a testers, right? We have a DevOps team, and we have product management, right? Everybody has to work very closely. If some of the folks are not very supportive, then Scrum framework doesn't work. It leads to a disaster. Normally, when we are performing using Scrum team, it is always too good to that you bring a senior folks, because it expect people should be a senior, so in that way things can be delivered very quickly and it can be done very efficiently. If it is a junior, very completely junior, then it is somewhat not a good process, right? Because it is an individual people who are going to work in Scrum teams, and if they are not performing very well in the teams, then you can expect what would be the disaster for that Scrum teams. Because there would be a daily meetings happens every day, which is a daily stand-up meeting. You can understand because they have to update the status every day in front of others. Now, when they are trying to update every day, let's say if one person is not done his work properly, or yes, his work is got stuck because of other reasons or some dependencies, then the prestation level will get increases, because prestation level gets increases because he has to communicate the status. Sometimes maybe because of his reason or maybe because of some other reason, his prestation also will increases, right? Hence, that is also one of the disadvantages if you are trying to bring a Scrum framework. And there is also a big disadvantages with the Scrum methodology is, let's say if one of the key resources left the project, then the way the Gantt chart or Gantt chart which we are drawing, because we are making a pretty good progress, if somebody left the organization in between, now you can imagine if somebody left the organization in between, then whatever the plans you have made in that sprint, right, or coming sprints, or whatever the estimations you guys have done, everything was for a task, right? This is also one of the disadvantages of a Scrum methodology. These are the some of the important advantages and disadvantages which I can bring up here. I am hoping you guys really got to know about now what is all about Scrum methodology and what is all about its advantages and disadvantages of Scrum methodology. If you guys really like this video, then please click on like button, and if you are not subscribed to Testing Shala YouTube channel till now, then please click on subscribe and bell icon so that all our future videos will be in your inbox as in when we publish our new videos. Thanks for watching this video. Bye for now. Take care.